Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and I have several questions here that I'm going to answer for you. Okay, let's see. The next question is, hi doctor, you're fabulous. Well, aren't you sweet? My question is about Crisco oil. I've been using it to seal my hair after applying leave-in conditioners. No ill effects. My hair is actually healthier, strong, and finally retaining length. Do you see anything wrong with using Crisco? I only use a small amount, and I hate to change what I'm doing, not now because it's really working. Okay, that's what you're saying, it's working, but let me tell you what's happening. Crisco is great for a lot of things. I don't think it's great for the hair. Remember, we grew up, if you're older than 40, you remember growing up and putting Crisco on your legs to get rid of the dry skin. But it just was not something that was good. If you look around, you notice there was a lot of dust around your legs. You're like, oh, where did that come from? And that's because the Crisco attracts the dust. So you'll have more dust and debris on the hair. So over a period of time, you will have microscopic cosmetic pollutants and environmental pollutants, and eventually you will have a lot of debris on your scalp and hair. So I don't recommend Crisco. There's so many other oils. You're going to have to clarify at some point and change. You definitely do not want to use the Crisco. Okay, next question. I was curious to know why you do not list your ingredients of each product on your website. I like to know what's in the products I purchase prior to using them. And my hair doesn't respond well to certain ingredients. I understand. But listen, number one, I will not give all of my ingredients because I am a small business and I have some secrets. Okay, I do. Well, I just don't want anyone going around making my products. These are my products, and my company spends a lot of time and research making sure I work with my chemist on making these things. But I can tell you right away, I don't use any product. I don't test any products on animals. I don't use any products that will be harmful to your body, your skin. If a person asks me, is this particular ingredient in a product, I will let them know, yes or no. Let's see. I just do everything I can to reveal as much as I can and stay in business. I hope you understand. But I do understand if you don't want to purchase my products because I won't tell you everything that's in it. But I can tell you I've done the research. I look at the hair under the microscope after treatments in my clinic, after treatments of using my maintenance products, the products that you guys are privileged to on my website. And we've got great success. Many, many years. I've been in this industry for over 30 years, and we have a great record. But as a small business owner, I have some secrets like other companies. I do have some special ingredients is what I call them, special formulations. Thank you so much for that question. It says, next question, I have noticed I have holes in my strands of my hair. I don't use any tools on my hair, and I only finger comb. What could be causing these holes in my strands, and how can I prevent it? Well, you definitely do not want to finger comb. You want to smooth with your finger and thumb, and then you want to go through with your human comb and slide through. Like, see, I've got a little tangle there. If I kept going, I'm going to use my forefinger and thumb. Since this is a small one, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to slide straight through, and I'm not going to lose it. But if you're not careful, you will tear and rip your hair, microscopic tears, and that'll be a problem. On my website, lisaakbari.com, I have videotapes on how to detangle, how to comb, how to shampoo. You'll find them very useful. Okay, a comb is used for grooming. You should never comb through tangles. You should always let your forefinger or fingers and thumbs and your products, fluff a little bit, there we go, and your products help you to remove those tangles. Okay, all right, next question. She said that I heard a lot about the importance of achieving protein moisture balance. How is one to know what products supply it? Should a protein moisture product be used every day? Can you name a few products that supply it so that I can be sure? And she said, thank you, and you're welcome. Listen, let me just say this to you. You definitely want proteins and moistures. You want to use hydrolyzed proteins because they tend to penetrate and they're very hair friendly. vegetable type proteins, wheat. There's collagen, but most people are concerned animal because it's an animal product. But I used it and I stopped when I had some concerns. I didn't have concerns personally, but when people voice concerns, that's basically, you want to definitely use your proteins because it's really important. But stay with the products that say hydrolyzed protein. Wheat is my favorite, one of the ones I use in my systems. So there's just some really great proteins out there. The other thing with using them daily, there's a little bit of protein in your leave-ins. That's great because it's always going to keep your cuticle layer very compact, which is going to give you a stronger head of hair. I think that that's pretty much the question. You got to have the balance. That delicate protein and moisture level within the shaft must stay balanced. So just try that, okay? Try the research and really don't worry yourself as much about it. Look for deep penetrating protein and moisture. Do a test and see how well you feel. You should notice the difference immediately when you put it on your hair. Immediately. Your hair will feel stronger and it'll feel softer. I hate for you guys to go out there and try to play chemist, but I just want you to realize that if you are not using protein and moistures, you're going to have a problem with weak or dry hair or both. Okay? All right, next question. I hardly wear any twists. This is someone who's losing hair. She said, I hardly wear any twists or braids, and my hairline looks pretty good. I notice when I pull my hair to the cheek, when I pull my hair to check my length, the bulk of the hair tapers to the tip and the shorter transitioning hairs to the tip, i.e., when I take a section of hair, they are not the same length, and that's a really big concern. And she wanted to know whether this was hair regrowing or hair breaking. And let me just say this. Most likely it's breakage, because if you were having some problems with regrowth hair, you would see hair closer to the scalp. I don't know how long you've been looking at this, but if it's just some little areas that some are shorter and longer, unless you had at one point breakage there or balding there, then it's probably just new hair that's breaking or hair that broke in the past and it's now obtaining length again. So I would, without examining your shaft, I couldn't be sure, but that's what I'm guessing, that's older hair that probably broke at some point. Hair will do that. I had some of those problems as I was transitioning and I was conducting my little studies, because when I had the difference in the hair and showing you guys the detangling technique, I created some damage to the ends, and so my ends were thinner and the hairs were shorter and longer, little longer pieces, and so, but nothing major, because I, as a trichologist, I knew what was happening, and I do these things in the studies on my own hair. So most likely it was some form of breakage at some point. Okay, so I think we've got the rest of the, let's see if we can get a few more questions in. Do silicones damage the hair, and can parabens in hair products cause cancer? Major deal. People have a lot of questions about this, because one of the things that we find with women who are, excuse me, there we go. When women who are concerned about these things like parabens causing cancer, there was a university in the United Kingdom that did a study. I think they first noticed problems back in 1988, when they started noticing that when there was tests done on women, they were finding properties of paraben and their estrogen as they tested the estrogen. And that was a big scare for a lot of people. There's studies that say that it has nothing to do with it. It's like but there are also parabens in certain medications and certain foods. But when you ingest the product or the food with parabens, they don't notice it in the system. But when it's put on topically, they found some traces of it. So there's studies that say that this is true. There's studies that say it's not true. There's no studies that firmly says that it causes cancer. I haven't found that. If you find it, please send me a link. So I have not seen, definitely is nothing that it's doing to harm the hair, but you definitely don't want it in your body. I no longer, at one point I did use them, but if the public is afraid of them, so we're no longer using any parabens. And it's been a little while since I've done that. I've put them in my system. So it's really something that you've got to decide what you believe. And I'm really waiting to see more studies. So if you guys have something, please send it to me. Okay, next question. I have been a patient of yours for the past 4 months. Okay, thank you. I have enjoyed my treatments and products thus far. I was wondering if you could explain the difference in hydration product and the Moisture Plus product. Can you use them both at the same time once you shampoo your hair? Which would you use first? That's what she's trying to say. Okay, I got a little cramp here. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, the hydration, you're going to have more hymetrins, higher levels of it. You'll notice that it's a really creamy. The consistency is almost liquid. Well, that is, the hymetrins are moisture binding agents. The hydration, that's the difference. The Moisture Plus won't have as many, and it's very dense in comparisons to the hydration. If you're going to use them together, I don't think you need to necessarily use them together, but if you're going to use them together, the hydration is going to give you nice soft hair. It won't give you a lot of definition. The Moisture Plus will give you more. But if I was going to use 2 products together in our system, I would use the hydration. If I'm having extremely dry hair, it'll give you that extra moisture you need. And then I will use the naturally textured. Very similar products, naturally textured and the Moisture Plus. But the naturally textured give you that texturized look. I use it pretty much every night. Okay, next question. Let's see. It says, I have a question about hair strength. If we were to test fine strands against coarse strands and assume that both strands are preserved, we're going to assume that, and healthy, would the coarse strand be stronger than the fine strand because of its thickness? I just wondered if you have inheritedly found inheritedly fine hand, if you have that inheritedly fine hair, will it always be or always seem weaker even if it's well cared for? I just butchered that question. Sorry, guys. But if you have hair that's fine and you inherited that hair, this is hair that you've lived with, this is hair that you were born with, and your hair is always going to be fine hair. But you can have fuller hair. What I find with a lot of my patients, they have hair that's fine and go from fine to thin, which is not natural. Definitely because the fine hair is a smaller strand than coarse hair, you're going to have that strand weaker in that it can't tolerate as much as the coarse hair. It's kind of like a tree trunk and a twig. If you blow, the twig is gone. But the tree trunk, you can chop and chop with an axe and it's still there. It's just got lots of dents in it. So it can take a lot more. So you can have full hair. And most people think my hair is coarse, but my hair is more medium. But it looks coarse because it's healthy. So the healthier you get your hair, the stronger it will be. It'll be able to tolerate it'll be able to tolerate styles, what you're going to do in the way of styles. You just not want to overdo it. For example, heated tools. You can use, say, 250 to 300 degrees on fine hair. Coarse hair, you may be able to move up a little bit more. So yes, it's weaker in that sense. But I have women with fine hair, long, full hair. Until you touch it, you don't realize it's fine. So you'll be fine. I'm Lisa Akbari, no pun intended. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and I love you guys. To God be the glory in Jesus. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.